If you want to sound more confident in meetings, talking more is usually not the answer. In fact, the faster fix is this: say your point earlier, say it more directly, and stop weakening it before it lands. This is what we're going to cover today. If you often leave meetings feeling like you talked too much, or your answer went in circles, or you sounded less confident than you wanted, this video is for you. I am going to give you a simple framework you can use immediately. The first reason people sound unconfident in meetings is simple. They talk too long and they take too long to get to the point. They start with background, they explain the history, add context, and even soften everything. And by the time the main message arrives, the room is already tired. Here is the first fix. Lead with the point, then explain it. For example, instead of saying, "So we have been reviewing everything across the teams, and there are a few things happening right now, and some of it seems related to approvals and timing," you can say, "The main issue is delayed approvals." That already sounds stronger. Then you can add, "That is what moved the timeline." That is a much more confident answer because the listener doesn't have to search for your point. So, from now on, when someone asks you a question in a meeting, ask yourself, "What is my headline?" Say that first. That one change will improve your meeting communication immediately. Now, the second mistake is too much soft language. This is when people say things like, "I just think like," or "I was kind of wondering if," or "Sorry, I just wanted to say." This kind of language makes your message feel smaller before it even lands. You do not need to sound aggressive. You do need to sound clear. So, instead of this, "I just think maybe we should revisit the timeline," you can say, "We should revisit the timeline." Instead of, "I was kind of wondering if this might be a risk," say, "This is a risk." Instead of, "Sorry, I just wanted to add one point," say, "One important point is this." That sounds more confident immediately. So your second action item is remove words that weaken your sentence before the sentence even begins. Now here is the easiest framework to use in meetings. When someone asks you a question, answer in 3 parts. First, your point. Second, your reason. Third, your next step. That's it. Here's an example. "The timeline needs to move. 2 approvals are still missing. We should reset expectations now." That sounds confident because it's direct, structured, and easy to follow. Here's another one. "The issue is capacity. The team is aligned, but bandwidth is limited. We need to reduce scope or extend timing." Again, that's very clear. If you want something practical, this is the main framework from this conversation. Point, reason, next step. Use that in meetings this week. A lot of people hurt their confidence by continuing after the point is already clear. They answer the question, then they keep talking, then they add more detail, then they repeat the point in a weaker way. That is where confidence starts dropping. So here's the rule. Once your point is clear, stop. Add more only if the room asks for it. This matters because confident speakers do not try to answer every possible follow-up before it happens. They answer the question that was asked. Then they pause. That pause makes you sound more confident and more in control. If your language is vague, you will sound less confident even when your idea is good. Here's what I mean. The weak version would be, "There are kind of a few things we may need to look at before moving forward." A stronger version, "There are 3 issues we need to review before moving forward." So another action item for you is this. Use cleaner vowels, stronger verbs, and finish the sentence earlier. That is how you sound stronger without talking more. Here's a quick example. Let's say your manager asks, "Why are we behind?" A weaker answer sounds like this. So there are a few reasons, and some of them go back to earlier planning and priorities shifted, and we also had some capacity issues across teams. A stronger answer would be more like, "We're behind because priorities shifted and capacity followed those changes. The work is still moving, but not at the original pace. We need to adjust the timeline now." That answer is better because it gives you the issue, the reason, and the next step. Your responses will sound more confident because the message is stable and easy to follow. So, here is what I want you to practice. Action 1. Before you answer, decide your headline. Ask yourself, what is my point in one sentence? Then, remove cushioning language. That's action 2. Cut words like just, kind of, maybe, I think when it's unnecessary, or sorry when it's unnecessary. Action 3. Use the structure. Your point, your reason, and your next step. And action 4. Stop when the answer is clear. Do not keep talking just because you're nervous. If you want to sound more confident in meetings, do not focus on talking more. Focus on saying the right thing sooner. That is the shift that you need. You lead with a point, you use cleaner language, you follow a simple structure, and you stop when the answer is clear. That is how you sound stronger at work without sounding longer.